I am excited. Hello, hello, hello. I am excited to tell you that I have found out what has been going on with me for the past couple of years. And I had no idea what was going on. Okay. So, let me first begin by saying I found out that I have prolactinoma, which means that I have a benign brain tumor. But it's benign, so it's not something that's super serious, but it's serious enough to cause a lot of symptoms that I had no idea about. And I had an excuse or had a reason why I had the symptoms with everything that was going on. And so this happened. I never had headaches before in my life. And I started to have headaches. And I was just like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting older. I also started to have weight gain. And I was just like, I'm eating pretty healthy. I haven't really changed my diet too much. I wasn't exercising as much as I used to. So I thought, well, maybe my body's saying, well, because you're not exercising as much, you're going to gain weight. Well, my weight gain was just coming on and just unexpected. And I was just like, maybe it's stress. Maybe it's because I'm getting older. Maybe it's because, I have two kids and I'm with my kids instead of working out all the time. Maybe it's because I'm transitioning and moving and life and with school and all that. And so I had an excuse for that. And then I had like a milky discharge, and that's one of the symptoms too. And I was like, well, maybe it's because, like, if I hear my kids whining, it sets off a hormone in my body that causes me to want to produce milk. And so I had an excuse for that. And then I was like, I would wash my hair and like globs of hair would just like come out into my hands and I would just have globs of hair. And I was like, well, maybe I'm getting older. And when you get older, you don't have as much hair as you used to. And so that was another symptom. Um, and one symptom was just a constant fatigue. So even if I set an agenda or set an intention for me to exercise or work out, I would be exhausted. And so it took a lot of effort for me to go to the gym. And so I was like, well, I am getting older. I do have a lot of responsibility. I didn't sleep well last night. And so that was another reason. And then another thing, I started to not have periods anymore. And that was another sign, but I was just like, well, I'm about to be 40 coming up. Maybe I'm premenopausal. So that's why I don't have my periods. And so all these different symptoms that I had was a signal, boom, 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 to my brain and to myself saying that there was something going on, but I had excuses for everything, and I just thought that it was just normal. But really, it was my prolactinoma. No. Now, how did I find out that I had it? Well, I went to the doctor and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I've been exercising, I've been eating right. You would think like I was eating so much less than what I used to eat when I used to train. When I used to train, I would eat like um, jars of peanut butter, like half of a jar of peanut butter, and still stay lean. I would have to have popcorn with olive oil on it just after every workout in order to keep up with the calories. I would eat probably, like if I went out and I went to Chipotle, I would have to eat the entire thing in order to get full. So I could eat like half of that and be fine. I would still have my protein shake, and all these things was happening and I could not lose weight. So because I was like doing everything that I used to do in order to lose weight, but I wasn't losing it. Like I started to try to do keto because people were like, keto, keto, you're gonna lose weight. Gonna lose weight. You're gonna lose weight. And I was like, okay, here I go. I'm gonna try it. So I tried it and it was like no go. Body was like not having it. I even tried CrossFit and I was doing that thing CrossFit and nothing was bulging. Like if it bulged, it was like 1 pound. And just drinking a cup of water, it would just come right on back. And I was working hard. And if you looked at me, you would be like, what's going on with her? Like, why is she gaining weight. She was supposed to be this fitness guru, this one that loves to exercise. I had lost my drive to exercise and to eat right. Like I really had to push myself in order to get up and to exercise. So what prolactinoma does, it inhibits dopamine in your brain. And when it inhibits dopamine, it decreases and prolactin increases. And so that's where I got the milky discharge was from the prolactin. Not only that, it makes your body think that you're pregnant and you're not. And so I was gaining weight like I was quote unquote pregnant, but I wasn't. And every month I would think, okay, my period's coming on. And if it's not coming on, maybe I'm pregnant. Because I was like, my stomach is protruding out. Maybe I'm pregnant. And I wasn't. And one of the side effects of having high prolactin in the blood is infertility. So I wasn't having a period. So I was like, okay. And the other thing with high prolactin is you get fatigued, like I said. And so I would have to take naps. And in between my naps, I would help my kids with their homework. I would try to cook. I would try to clean as much as possible with the energy that I had. And not only that, it's also studied that people that have high prolactin also could have anxiety and depression. And so I would have be very anxious. I still have to deal with my anxiety because I like to be in control of things. I like to have everything in order, and when it's not, I'm like with everything. And so that's something I have to work on. But I can say that my prolactinoma um, had something to do with that as well. And so now that I found out that I do have it, I started treatment and I take cabergoline, yeah. And I have my desire to exercise again. I have my desire to eat right. I can't wait when I get off of this video to go out in the backyard and jump some rope and do a little bit of yoga before it rains, hopefully. Um, I'm not as fatigued as I was. I still have control issues that I'm working on, but I can tell that if I breathe through it, that I should be okay. And I have the desire to do my yoga again and just to be whole and happy and on just another wavelength. I can also say with after 1 week of treatment on my cabergoline that my period has started to come back on again. So that is a change. My energy has increased. Um, I am so excited to find out why I was gaining weight because you would have never thought that I ever did a figure competition in my life because of the weight gain. And I couldn't explain it. Like, I didn't even feel like explaining it. I was just like, well, I'm just gonna, if I can't lose this weight, I'm going to embrace my size. And I went from, I went from a really small size, and then I started going to a 12, then I started going to a 14, and then I was able to start to fit into 16s. And I was like, my weight was only going to continue to go up because though I didn't know what the cause was. So, finding out that I have this diagnosis is life changing for me. There are some side effects to my medication. But there's a risk reward with medication, and my reward is that I am having a lot more energy. I am having my period back. Also, because of prolactinoma, it decreases the estrogen in your body and it causes you to have a lot of facial hair. Now, I've had facial hair because I'm just like full of hair. Like I just have lots of hair. But I started to just have facial hair that I would pluck and then just, and I was just like, what's going on? So that was another something that goes on in the brain. And so I am saying this and telling my story about this is because if you have any of these symptoms of milky breast, um, no periods, a constant fatigue, unexplained weight gain, headaches for no reason that you never had before, maybe a little bit of anxiety and depression. Mm, and can't think of anything else. I think those were the main things, the main symptoms that I had. And I just wanted to bring awareness to this because I'm excited. I'm really excited. It took me a while. This is my first time sharing this because I didn't want to scare my family. And I just wanted them just to know after the fact when I was on the other side of the hill so that they wouldn't worry about me because I do enough worrying for enough people as it is. And so I'm excited. I will continue to tell you about my journey. And as I continue to take my cabergoline, my new medication, I will come back and let you know how I feel and how things are going. But I can tell you that I am on the up and up. I'm gonna do a little dance for that. I'm on the up and up. Hey, up and up. I'm excited. Okay. Okay. So to basically I am telling this to my friends and family and also to those that may be having symptoms just like me, and just to bring awareness to this diagnosis because I think only 1% of the population has it, or it's just like it's not a huge percent of population that has it. And when I found out, I was just like looking up stuff and I was wanting more and more and more, like what's going on? Like why? Okay, so let me just say one last thing. How do you get a benign brain tumor? There's really no pinpoint explanation, but one thing that does happen is a high level of stress. And I can tell you that I have been under a high level of stress. If you ever been through a divorce, yeah, high level of stress. If you ever had a huge move, high level of stress. If you've ever had kids and you're trying to be a mom and take care of kids and take care of yourself and be a good wife and transitioning and doing all types of stuff all at one time. Yeah, it can be stressful. The other thing that may have caused it, which I don't know the cause of why I have it or why I got it, is over exercise. Like I exercised and exercise is good for you, but I was doing it to the point where it was just very exhausting on my body and just overly done. And I know some people are going to say you can't over exercise. Well, okay. Um, that's fine. If that's your philosophy, go with it. Do your thing. But too much exercise can cause your body to feel as if it's under a lot of stress. And when your body feels like it's under a lot of stress, it can cause cortisol levels to rise and it can cause different things that can happen. And so one of the things is overexerting yourself with exercise. And so now that I know that, I'm going to exercise, but I'm going to do it in moderation. And as far as my eating, I'm going to do that in moderation too, because just if you know me or you know my personality, I was I usually am an all or nothing type person. If I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna jump all the way in. And so when I was exercising, it was the extreme. You talking about somebody that did pull ups with 45s on their belt waist. Talking about somebody that would train for hours doing high intensity work. Yes, that was me. You're talking about a person that cared about how my kids' grades were, probably more than they cared about how their grades were going, and just pushed and pushed and pushed them and pushed and pushed and pushed myself. That's me. And so, like, I'm trying to work on my moderation and also with eating. If I was going to do a diet or do a weight loss or do a healthy menu or anything that I did, I went ham. I wouldn't say ham. I went hard. I would have my food lined up, knowing exactly what I would eat. That's what I would eat during a certain time, and I would try to stay in that. Okay. And so being that type A, Sometimes I'm type A, sometimes I'm type AB, and sometimes I'm all the way B. And so I'm trying to be in the middle of the AB moderation. And so everybody doesn't want to live in the moderation zone, and that's cool. Do you? But for me, and because of my diagnosis, I feel that it is healthier for me to live in a space of moderation. So again, I'm excited. I'm excited to know what was going on. Um, if this helps anybody, if you have these symptoms, check it out, see what's going on, ask your doctor, and live your life. Love you.